Howdy, it's Matt. I am here, honestly. I'm just hiding off to one side. So, in today's live unboxing, we have a lot of foam. And you are going to be seeing a lot of foam in this live unboxing. So, I did first label this one up as being the EFXtra, but Mr. Parcel came with 2 extra goodies this morning. And you may be wondering, Matt, what are you hiding underneath this lot? The answer is short. One of the boxes turned up was in a absolutely horrific condition. Even the EFXtra didn't even survive its journey unscathed on the way to me. We'll take a look at that in a bit, and fingers crossed they have packed a red one in there. And by the way, there is a vote which you can vote on along with this live episode is in the top right hand corner, which I believe is up there somewhere. You can vote whether the red is the fastest colour or not, and that vote follows on from the vote which we had this morning in the live RC coffee chat. So with that said, I do have the iPad with me so I can check your comments and Stick Mix, thank you, audio's all good. That's the comment which I was looking for. So, I was going to do this as like something which is called like a criticism sandwich, where we did something good, we did something bad, and then we did something good. And actually, in reality, it's hopefully going to be good. Well, no, get me word this right. It's going to be good, and I can't say that word, brilliant, in that box there. So, first things first, why do I have a load of packaging foam in front of me? In short, today was the day when Banggood also delivered the F22 and also the Edge 540 to me, and in fact, let me just make some room here today. It's talk about everything coming in one go. Is that the F22 turned up and the box was absolutely knackered, and I literally just within the last hour I've stuck a video up on it. I'm sure you've been in the same position as well, when you've been and received a box and you just look at the box and you just want to shrivel up and just like, look at the state of that box. There's no way on earth the model's gonna be alright. So I made a video of it, and literally 14 minutes response time. 14 minutes they got back, and they asked the daft question, what's the model like? Now, I've put a separate video up, and I do need to keep an eye on the chat in the background as well. And by the way, there is a live chat at the bottom of this episode. I will get to your comments in a few minutes' time. But coming back to the box, and Cecilia asked, how's the model? Which is probably the most obvious question. I said, I don't know. So I stuck the iPad on record and we unboxed it. And the good news is, and by the way, it wasn't looking good. The box was absolutely mullered. Granny had noticed that we had the the glass spar's broken. Oh, there you go. Oh, it was actually a tube. Oh, didn't know that. That's actually broken. So it's broken. Can I have my money back? No, on a serious point, I've got some carbon rod down there which I'll use instead. But she found this out on the doorstep, which had fallen out of the box, and things were not looking good. So anyway, I unboxed it with the iPad on, and the good news is it's all in one piece. So we are going to have a look at this one first. We'll have a quick look at the Edge 540, and then we're going to get on to something rather special. And I sincerely hope that Kev is not right, that they've been packed a green or a blue one in there just to take the piss. I really do hope we have a red EFXtra in that box. I'm trying to get the wording right. So yeah, all the parts were good. This is the first, how do I say this? Like, I'm more into flying wings, to be brutally honest. And this is the first like fighter jet model which I've ever owned, in short. And it didn't look good from the off, and actually, now that I've been and got her out of the box, it looks absolutely fantastic. You can set this one up either as an EDF or with a pusher motor. I will consider the option of an EDF, and the reason why I'll consider the option of an EDF is because with a pusher motor in the middle, with that amount of foam around either side of it, it is going to be rather noisy. One thing which I did spot, this canopy does come off. and we open this one up, is actually in 2 pieces. Well, it wanted to be in 2 pieces. Look at the size of the hole in there. Absolutely massive. So some gluing will be required. We do get some landing gear. I'm 50-50 if I'm actually going to put the landing gear on there, because we've only got one flying site, which has got tarmac, and unfortunately that RAF site is actually being sold off, so I'm not even sure we've got access to it anymore. So the F22 went from such a low to such a high. Turned up, smashed to pieces. The box was, I thought we were just going to have foam snow in there, and I'm sure you've been in the same situation as well. You just don't even want to look in the box because you know it's going to be foam snow, and today I was proven wrong. We didn't have any foam snow, and ironically supposedly one of the toughest bits of the model, which was the spar, was broken, which is no biggie. I've got a load of carbon and glass fibre rods over there which I can use instead. And yeah, I've gone from an utter low this morning to a massive high. So I'm going to get this one out the way, which will be as delicately as I possibly can. Let's move that one out the way, and I'm going to pause for a moment to check on your comments which have come in. I'll also sort out that microphone too. And remember this, if you're watching the recorded version, it probably looks unpolished, and the frankly answer is yes, this is unpolished. This is being recorded live, so we leave all screw ups in. I am just gonna pause for a moment to say hello to those of you which have been and joined in with this live session. So let me just scroll back up to the top. Now we normally do this as a shout out corner in the live RC coffee chats. But my computer's over there, so I can't switch screens. So we're just going to do it ad hoc. So good morning, Bleakist. Good morning, Flying Mambo. Scrolling down. Good morning, Kev. Good morning, HobbyKing. I believe that's Stuart wishes on. Steve, good morning. Ruds, who's Stick Mix FPV, good morning. BMX, good morning. Nuno, Realms, First Protocol, Mashomatic, Ztune13, hello fella. Henry, James, Steve, RC Speed Racers, good lad. Boris Plate, howdy fella. Scrolling up, Thumbs FPV. André is also on. Peter, good morning. Scrolling down, we've also got Steve. There's another James by the looks of it. Joe, blimey, it must be getting late there with you. You're down in Australia, I believe. Scrolling on down, Dom, howdy fella. Alistair, Joe, Arthur, Sunday, and I believe that's everybody who's on live. And Dan as well. Hi from Dan. Right. So let's go on to the next one as we build up the pace towards the special red one. And remember, you can get involved with today's live unboxing. You can decide whether red is the fastest colour or not, and you can do that in a vote in the top, in my left hand corner, but your top right hand corner. Hover your mouse on the the eye icon, and you will be able to place your vote on whether red is the fastest colour. Now I am a very diplomatic kind of guy, and there are 2 options in there for you, and we will look at the votes at the end of this unboxings. So we need to get in here in one piece, and I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat. Oh, hey Alan as well. Can we unbox along? Yeah, absolutely. If you've got some kit, I sincerely hope that it arrived with you better than what it arrived than that F22, to be honest, because I really didn't have any hopes at all for that. Right, how did we get in here? So this one, I'll be honest with you, you can buy exactly the same model. You can buy it from Banggood for $105.99, and there's a link to that in the video description. And you can also buy exactly the same model, which is got slightly different decals on it, also from HobbyKing for $89 last time I looked, but I used up some discount. I had a load of points, and yeah, just for me it worked out cheaper to buy it from Banggood. So Do check the pricing on this one. They are essentially the same model as far as I can tell, which is no big surprise because I'm assuming there's a limited number of factories creating these products out in China and associated districts. So let's get ourselves in here. This is an Edge 540. I can't remember the exact measurements. I want to say 945 millimeter wingspan. In reality, it's about that big. So it looks like really good fun. Oh, nice touch. I am just going to get in. I haven't been in this box. You've just seen me get in there myself, and I'm actually quite surprised. And I'm actually, yeah, that is nice. The paint scheme on it is pretty damn cool. The bit which there's two things which I'm surprised about. Number one, well, if I'm honest, I don't like them, but it's kind of handy that they have been stuck them in there, is that we've got those material hinges in here, and also for the control horn surface down at the bottom, is that it looks like we've got a piece of plywood embedded in there, and I'm putting that up to the light, and I can tell you there is a spar molded inside the foam, and it's EPP. Yeah, I'm 100% sure it's EPP. Oh, I tell you what they've done. That's cunning. Now, you probably won't tell. Again, I'm just going to see if I can put that up on the camera so you can see it. What they've been and done, you've got an EPP core, and then they've obviously been and put the spar in it, and by the looks of it, they've probably put that wooden control horn mount in there. And then, to get a super sick finish on the top, and it is silky smooth on top, is that what they've been and done is that we've got an approximately 3, maybe a 4mm skin of EPP on top where it's got the decals, hence why it feels so nice. But it's actually a sandwich. That is the first time I've seen that done on a model. And I'm actually going to see if I can put this on the camera to see, put my hand up behind. I hope you can see that. That is the first time I've ever seen them do that on a model, and that is really, really cool. That's why we get such a nice finish on it. The wings have been marked with the CG point. Again, they've done exactly the same thing with the wings. I am genuinely impressed with that. I really do quite like that. So let's go on to the box and see what else we've got. Let's have a quick look. Alistair McC says, Australian customs keep our parcels for a month. Oh, Alistair, I know how you feel. Right, let me just put this into proportion. The Edge 540 is for me as I get better at flying 3D. The fighter jet is basically because it was $60 minus some discount codes, and it was pretty cheap by the end of it, and just fun because I've never owned one like that. And the EFXtra, I've been waiting a month, and I'm sorry, HobbyKing. I did declare for a month that the website was broken because we didn't have the EFXtra on there. And my point being is that there is another model on the way to me right now, and it is stuck in customs. It's been in customs for 4 days. I know it's in the United Kingdom, and Alistair, that is absolutely frustrating. I'm sure all of us at one point or time or in our flying experience has been in the same situation. It sucks. It sucks. Golden Rich, welcome aboard. And he said 69. Yes, remember there is that vote going along with this live unboxing. It is in the top right hand corner. You do get to choose whether red is the best and also the fastest colour for a model. Quickly moving on, and again I won't loiter on this one too long. The elevator fin looks exactly the same. Nicely they've glued it up for me. As many of you know, I really do hate building models. There are 4 stages to this hobby, and there's no shame in enjoying different parts of this hobby. You have the design stage. Some of you may enjoy the actual design of models themselves, whether they be made of foam, balsa, or another material. You have the build stage, which most models have some form of build required for them, some more than others. I'm thinking about the Team Legit Wombat over there. That was quite a challenge to get that one built up together. Flies absolutely brilliantly, I hasten to add, but it was quite a long build stage. Then obviously we have the fly stage, which is my favourite part of this hobby. And then there is the fourth stage, and it doesn't matter how good you are. It's called the repair stage. And for me, to be frankly honest, I'm not really a big designer at all. That part of the hobby doesn't interest me at all. The build stage, for me personally, I do class as the unnecessary evil so that I can get to my favourite stage, which is the fly stage. And whether we like it or not, we all have the repair stage. So yeah, let me know which stage is yours. I know many of you, I know from like guys up for the different flying clubs, they love to build models and then get really, really scared about flying them. And for me personally, I'd rather fly them. And if I break them, oh, you got to go and repair them, you know? Which stage is the best one for you? Let us know in the chat. So, and the chat is on the right-hand side. And of course, if you're watching the recorded version, you can let me know in the comments section underneath this episode, or underneath this video. So I'm just going to get in this box now and see what we've got going on. And I am trying to keep... Mitch Finn says, you can fly to plane to my house. It's free, no delivery. Maybe one day we'll get to that. So I am going to have a quick look at the nose area, and we'll have a quick look at the main fuselage as well, which is the two key parts. Oh, Joe, that is mean. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, oh man. So Joe's just put in the chat, hey K Stewart, any good at repairs to an EFXtra? Somebody, mentioning no names, Stewart, may have flown an EFXtra, I will get it right sooner or later, straight into a hoop. And there were parts left. Good lad. Fly it fast and hard. If you've got to take it home in pieces, well, you go down in shame. So I've got no idea how that lid's going to come off. The body looks, if I'm honest, there's hardly any weight to this. We were probably talking 60 grams, 70 grams weight in that, tops. There's literally no weight to it at all. Looking down the middle, we got some ribs in the middle as well. Looks like a decent construction. Again, I'll have a look at these in more detail. To be honest, it doesn't look like it's going to take a hit. So this is why I was saying back at the beginning, the reason why I bought it is for when my personal 3D flying skills get better, is that we'll take this one around for a spin around. Now, I want to say a massive tip, massive thank you, and I can't remember the chap's name. His suggestion was, with this plywood mount on the front, which only looks like about 3mm plywood, if that, is to run some extra CA glue over all the joints, and I think that's a fantastic suggestion. This nose area, like I was saying a few moments ago, it doesn't look like it's going to be able to take a hit, so this one is definitely going to be one for when my 3D flying skills progress a little bit. Excuse me. There is a bit of finishing required. Looks like we need to knock out this plate, need to cut out the front nose area, get a motor mounted on. We've got some little covers for the landing gear, which I've just been spotted. That's taped into the bottom of the box. Yeah, realistically, how long is this going to take to build? An hour? Give or take. 30 minutes or so. Stick a decent receiver in it, stick some glue joints in there, and obviously I'm excluding glue dry time. So that is the Edge 540. There's a link to that one in the video description. It's definitely also available on HobbyKing as well. It's just got a slightly different set of branding on the side, and this one is the, I want to say 945mm one. It's not the big one. There is a bigger one of these at about 1.450, 1,450 millimeters, 1.5 meter wingspan. So there is a bigger one of these versions, models. Maybe I'll get that one in the future. So when I see that one on offer, I'll probably grab one. But for now, I've got that one once my skills improve. Jeez. Alright, just trying to keep an eye on the chat as well. Apologies if I haven't seen your question in there. I will do. Let's have a quick look. Henry says, where's the moderators? Why, are we getting some grief in the chat? Sorry, I'm just keeping an eye on the chat. Right, so on to the main event. Now, unfortunately, this box didn't come unscathed. What we had, and again, I ripped this piece off myself, there was this top hole in there and there was a dent in the side. So that is one of the biggest challenges to us as consumers and also as suppliers. Let's see if we've got HobbyKing sat in the background. Is the box 99.9% of the time will leave the warehouse in good condition. The biggest danger point, and remember my day-to-day job is actually working with e-commerce businesses, and I've also run an e-commerce business myself, and I won't go into my full history, but put it this way, I know a little bit about e-commerce, is that is one of the biggest challenges, is actually getting the product to the customer's door. And it doesn't matter what the actual supplier does, is that if it gets beaten up, lost, or abused on the way to you, unfortunately it is going to happen. But it is how you react to those circumstances as a supplier and also as a customer as well. There's no point swearing and ranting. That's actually all the most things which I do normally, actually, to be fair, is be nice, and genuinely you get nice responses back. I think that Banggood response which I got earlier, 14-minute response time, absolutely fantastic. Right, now I also, and again I don't care, there was a comment from Wayne, Curry Kitten, apologies, I was trying to remember the channel ID. Curry Kitten, I've got some graphene batteries here, and I actually think he's right. These graphene batteries are completely overpackaged, to say the least. I've had them before. They're really, really good. The ones, I've got some 2200 4Ss here, and they've been absolutely fantastic. But the packaging is a little bit overboard on them. If we open them up, we'll take a nose, and unfortunately, everything which comes with them, including the instructions, will end up going in the filing cabinet. Even the little cloth bags, we're not really going to keep them in the cloth bags. They are going to get some Velcro. They're going to get some protective tape on the on either end. They're going to get some Velcro on the bottom. They're going to get the date written on the end, and then they are going to have the every little milliampere ragged out of them in one model or another. Now, I've bought these for the EFXtra, and like I said, I will pronounce it right sooner or later. I bought these for the EFXtra. Did I get it right that time? They are some 1.8 4S 65C. Let me check that. Yes, 65C graphene batteries. Now, the thing which I already know in the back of my head, even though these batteries have certainly got some gravity to them, I will be very, very careful on the CG for them. Because what we've seen so far is that there been 2.6 3S batteries going in the front of these, and some 2200 4Ss in there. Now, the reason I didn't go for the 2200 graphene battery packs is because they are just too big, especially the 4S ones, for my other models. And that's the thing, is that I do my absolute best to keep away from battery packs which I just use in one model, and if I bought some more of the 2200s, they probably end up only being used in the EFXtra. So yeah, that's why I went for the 1800s. We've also got a little one going on here as well. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, absolutely, Joe. You are absolutely bang on. Let's have a quick look. Cheaper package, cheaper batteries. Yeah, we're all after cheapness at times. That's for sure. I also picked up a Nanotech 1.8 65C battery as well. And I wanted just to see how they do in exactly the same model. And I will see which one I can make puff first. So that's a personal challenge of mine. And that one is also another 1.8 one as well. Let's get those down on the floor, out the way. Yeah, just minimal packaging like we get with the Nano ones. I also bought a 7x6 propeller, and the reason why I bought a 7x6 propeller is because literally yesterday the spare parts for the EFXtra, I'm almost getting it right every time now, wasn't available, and I would hated to have broken a propeller and not been able to fly it. So I've got a 7x6 here, which I know is not the 7x6.5, so it's going to be slightly underpropped, but hey ho, it's to one side. Quickly going to the chat on there. There's 2 spammers, Matt. Let's have a quick look. Oh yeah, I've got him. Thank you. Apologies, I need to upgrade some of you as moderators. Kev. Thank you, Kev. Kev, can you sort them out? If you hover on the name on the right-hand side, you can remove them, and you're set up now as a moderator. Now, those of you which have just had to put up with some absolutely crappy spam, I personally do apologise for that bloke being a complete knob. I do apologise for that, so thank you. Thank you, Kev. Cleared the crap out. Done and done. High five. Well done, sir. Right. Friggin' size of this. Now, on the bright side, for the EFXtra, see, look, I'm getting it right now. The box is absolutely massive on it. Now, we do have one dent up on this end, and hopefully it's nothing important. I'm trying to work out how on earth and we get in there. Again, thank you, Kev. I do appreciate that one. Let's see how we get in here. I think I'm going to have this up the wrong way round. How on earth do we get in here? And I'm absolutely mullering the box, so I didn't really care. The box it came in is big enough to look after it. I think they've taped the inside of the box to the outside of the box. And no, the sound hasn't gone. I'm just genuinely chuffed about this one. And it's Tom's fault, and many of you know Tom, who I'm talking about. It's his fault. I found his video on the EFXtra a short while ago. It was like, woo, must have. And the previous EFX Racer, whatever it was, you can't get them for rocking horse poop. No, the people who've got them just don't want to sell them. And when they do come up, they come out from miles away. Yeah, flying amiibo. Oh, totally great. It's nice when you get the odd spammer. I feel impressed. And again, I do apologise. Yeah, there's a happy 12 and a quarter-year-old, to say the least. I'm just trying to get the parts out of the box, you know. It's just like the anticlimax. I've been waiting for so long for these to come in. And literally, I want to say thanks to everybody who stuck it in the Facebook group that they come into stock. There was quite a few of you which posted in there, and I literally got up about 4:30 in the morning, seeing that you'd all stuck messages in the Facebook group, and by 5 o'clock in the morning I'd put the order in, and I even managed to contain my excitement, and I'd been and bought some Blendum tape from the EU warehouse as well. So happy days. Right. Oh, there's the piece which I'm really looking forward to, which is the FPV pod. And we'll take a nose of that in a moment. So I think that's it for the box. There doesn't appear to be any instructions, but to be frankly honest, this looks pretty matte-proof. Now, you will see we have gone for the red version because red is the fastest colour in my book. Now, remember, let me get this right, in the top right-hand corner, there is, if you click on the eye icon, you can place your vote if red is the fastest colour. Now, there are 2 options there. We like to keep this very diplomatic. So there are 2 options on there, whether you can agree whether the red is the fastest colour or not. So anyway, let's go and take a closer look at this. The wiring... Oh, that's weird. We have the ESC. Now, again, I'm trying to look on the other camera. Can you see that the ESC is actually back up here? Normally on pretty much every other single model which I've owned, the ESC has been up on the front. So maybe that's how they got over the battery size issue. That was always the biggest challenge with the older EFX models, was trying to get the... Whoa, those magnets are brilliant. That's not coming off in a hurry. That was always the challenge on the previous version, was trying to get a decent sized battery up in the nose, and that's how they've been able to do it, because I can see the back of the motor mount in there. Apparently that's a glass fibre motor mount which they've got in there as well, with, by the looks of it, glass fibre spars down in the inside. Let me just move that up onto the camera so you can at least have a rough idea on what's going on. Now, I will go and take some photographs of this and stick it in the Facebook group for you, so you can see what's going on. The servos look, they're unbranded in there. And I'm just looking at, they've got decent carved, decently machined brass clevises, is what the word which I'm looking for, with the little bug screw to go down in on top with the little hex key. Nice and straightforward. The one thing which I will probably do myself, and that's because I'm picky, is that I will put some sellotape over the HT wires going out to the motor. It's just the way which I'm wired. I'll end up doing that myself. There isn't much room to fit a receiver in there. So considering the speed at which this model moves, and apparently this is a plus 100 miles an hour model, I won't be skimping on the receiver. So I will either put a brand new D4R2, because I use FR Sky receiver in there, or to be frankly honest, I have been earmarked an X8R to go in here as well. Now that I can see it, and I can see there's not much room in here at all, I am a little bit 50-50 on what I'm going to do with the receiver. So that is a curiosity. Should we get fitted together? It has come with a supplied, what should we call it, lead, Y lead. Let me go and poke that up through in there. Again, I will look at this properly later, and just get this to fit on the desk. For now, accessories. Oh, somebody's asking about the new Tundras. They do look like fun, but to be honest, and many of you probably already know this, I'd really like a Tundra, but to be frankly honest, I don't think it's going to last me. And the reason why I don't think it's going to last me is because it's got huge flaps. Because it's got huge flaps, all I'm going to end up doing is taking off, turning around, and landing. Taking off, landing, taking off, landing. And I'm just going to repeat that over and over and over again until I've absolutely killed the model. So that's the reason why I don't own a HobbyKing Tundra. I just don't think it's going to last me at all. We do get... Oh, there was an interesting one which we saw this morning. Those of you which are going to get an EFXtra, the little servo covers for on top of the servos, you will need to put some more tape on those, and maybe a little bit of tape on top. Let me do it on this side so hopefully you can see that, okay? Yeah, apologies, you are quite zoomed out. So when you mount yours on there, do put an extra bit of tape on the front, because Stuart, when he absolutely came to it, yes, I said flaps, for it, it came off. So again, I've got some more blend dome tape on the way to me. I've got some down there, so I will put a little bit of tape on the top. Again, do consider this is a 100 miles an hour plus model, and we will be doing 100 miles an hour plus with it, that is for sure, hence why we've got some new 4S batteries down there. Tail fin, looks like we've got a spar going through the vast majority of it, and again, the stickers just need pressing down. I'm not going to moan about that. Two different propellers, an 8x6 and this should be a 7x6.5 propeller, which there wasn't any spares of that propeller available on HobbyKing when I ordered it. I did check this morning and there are some spares turning up. I didn't see the propellers in the list, but I know that they're there. We've got a clear, I'm guessing that is a skid for the bottom of the model. The FPV pod it's only about 1 mil plastic. But when that's molded around, I don't think that's going to make a blind bit of difference. And let me just get that in there. Get that in the right way round. That's how good that magnet is. We got a sloping nose cone, which frankly I'll never use. Because if I do fly this one on a slope, I will leave the motor in it. And I know it's cheat mode, but cheat mode for a model which I've wanted, what was it? It was only about, the full story behind this is that when I first started to learn to fly, which was only last year in March, and I can tell you I was not very good at all. And unbelievably, I've still got my AXN Clouds fly down there. Brilliant model, and that's what I learned to fly with. Anyway, within like the first month, one of the guys up there, Mark, turned up with the original EFX, and wow, it was like wow. And it was around that time when HobbyKing discontinued them. And like I said, I've been after one of these for absolutely ages. The people who have got one, the previous version, just don't want to part with them. They really want. I've been trying to talk Andrew in it for absolutely ages. And then this one came out. Well, we saw it was going to come out. And I was just like, I must have. And I must have the red version because it is the fastest colour available. That's why they have Ferraris which are red and so on and so forth. Red is definitely the fastest colour. And to be brutally honest, they wrote 69 on it as well. So that did bemuse me. The FPV pod. Bit of CA glue. We'll stick that together. I've already got the video transmitter. And I've got a Runcam Owl Plus sat here on the desk, which arrived, 2 nights ago when we did the live mail opening. Thicker, I've just seen written in there. I will check over the chat afterwards. No, Andrew, I'd rather that I buy these ones for myself so that we actually find out if they are any good or not. It's just one of the approaches which I took to the YouTube channel. Yeah, good point there as well. So yeah, I will get that cut up. I will get it glued up. Now I do have some bad news for you, I'm afraid. Here in the United Kingdom of coldness, it was the United Kingdom of wetness only as of yesterday. Today is the only good day which we have for flying, and unfortunately I cannot leave my office. I get to play like we are right now, but I have got an absolute shed load of coding to be done this afternoon and into this evening, and I also have another live webinar which I need to do with one of the businesses which I run. We've got a couple of thousand people on for that one, so I cannot leave my office today, and today is the only good day which we've got here in the United Kingdom of coldness for the next couple of days. It's literally going to be pretty horrible and pretty windy, so the maiden of the EFXtra isn't going to happen for a couple of days, and I can tell you the 12 1/4-year-old in me is very, very sad that you can't do that. But sometimes needs must, and it does mean that we can buy models like this, and yeah, I'm on one hand I'm sad, on the other side, well, it's work, it's a necessary evil, you know. So by the way, if anybody has any Fly Amigo says 69 is selling point for years. Absolutely. I do agree with you. We do have the metal spinner. It even comes with a little Phillips screwdriver, a little Allen key, and I'll work it out later. It is, let me be honest with you, it is as small as what I expected it to be. I didn't ever think after seeing the original, we always knew that it wasn't going to be like a huge model, and let's face it, this thing is really built with speed. The clip wings look super cool. To be honest, I know some of you may let me work, how do I word this correctly? If you bought a model like this and it's going to be like one of the fastest models which you've ever flown, that you may be a little bit nervous about it. What I would say to that is that it's only foam, okay? For me personally, is that I've bought this model for basically fast FPV, and for me personally, FPV is video gaming in real life. I used to be a really hardcore video gamer, to say the least, and FPV for me personally is video gaming in real life. If you make like a screw up, unlike in video gaming where you either have to wait for a respawn or wait for a round to start or something like that, and then you just carry on and like nothing happens. If you make a screw up with FPV, it's real life. You've got to walk over there and pick the foam up, or you've got to go on that long walk of shame. And yeah, it is absolutely fantastic. For me, it's real world video gaming. That's why literally for the last 3 months, all I have done is flown FPV, flight after flight after flight. And unfortunately, it has shown. One of my challenges for this year is to get into 3D flying. And yes, I've seen a noticeable increase in my skills and what I've been able to do. But a model like this, some of you will stand on the flight line and absolutely spank it around and will never put an FPV pod on it. For me, this model is FPV. I want to be able to do a mile in however milliseconds, whatever it is. So this one totally for me is FPV. I'm really chuffed that when it went into the design with Durafly, that they actually considered FPV. Granted, it is not going to be the prettiest thing, which is sat on the top, but who cares? It's doing 100 miles an hour plus. When you pull back on that stick, it's going to launch into the sky, and you're going to see clouds faster than you believe. You're probably going to be on your way to the moon. It is going to be that fast and that bonkers. Now, on a very, very, very serious point, this is definitely not a novice's model. I can guess that I may have 30 models in front of me, and it's only now I would consider myself proficient enough to own and fly a model like this. And I do have 1 or 2 personal reservations in the back of my head, but to be frankly honest, I'm personally thinking, screw it, it's only a piece of foam. As long as nobody gets hurt, that's a good flying day. If a model gets hurt, well, it's only a piece of foam. And yes, it might be, well, I'm not even going to say it was an expensive piece of foam. I frankly thought that the EFXtra, see, I'm getting it right now, was going to be about 150, 160 pounds, and it came in at 123 quid. Now, if it come in at 160 quid, I probably would have grumbled about it being about 160 quid. It came in, on my account anyway, it's 123 quid, and I just basically bought it immediately at 5 o'clock in the morning. I didn't even have my eyes open properly. If I was to go and break this model, and I'm actually going to say if I was to go and do a Stuart with this model, I would go and buy another one immediately. I've wanted one for so long, and we're at this big anticlimax now because I can get it built tomorrow now. I just don't know when I'm going to get it actually out and flying. So quickly looking at your chat. Yes, 69 seems to have appeared many times in the chat. And apologies, I've not really been keeping an eye on the chat. What I will do after this episode is finished is that I will go back and watch this episode, and any comments or questions which come in, we'll either catch up with them tomorrow in the RC coffee chat. Obviously, if you are watching the recorded version, let me know in the comments section underneath this video. If you've got a question about the EFXtra, please just ask. Remember, I did buy this one out of my own money. If you have a question about the Edge 540, which we saw, or maybe even the F22, which we saw that horrific box, please just ask. All these models were bought out of my own money, and I will give you an honest answer to them. For me right now, honestly, the 12 and a 1/4-year-old in me is screaming, screw work, trying to tame my language, apologies, screw work, go and fly it, just build it, go and fly it. But unfortunately, sometimes we have to be adults, and I have got an awful lot of work on today. So make sure you subscribe for the Maiden. It will actually be an FPV Maiden straight out of the box. I will be 100% paranoid on the movements. Actually, there's a comment for Stuart. Stuart from HobbyKing, if you are still with us, in your last episode, you said that you were going to upload the Tyrannus files from your transmitter for the EFXtra. If you could upload those onto the HobbyKing site, onto the files tab for any of the product listings, that would be absolutely appreciated, so I can see what kind of movements you have or had on your transmitter. I did spot that you didn't have a lot of movement at all, and because of the nature and the speed of this model, personally what I'll go around is check and double check all movements. I would check every single connector, tape over the HT leads, tape over the servo connectors, and make sure everything stays put, because when we've got a model which is going to be going that fast in the sky, we need the confidence it's going to do what it needs to do. And for me, I will take this to one of the flying sites which I know like the back of my hand, and we will take it for a damn good ragging. So on that note, Stuart, if you just dropped out, can you do me a favour? Can you upload your Tyrannus file, like you mentioned in the product overview, to the EFXtra for us onto the HobbyKing website? That would be fantastic. Yes, was that me about the Tyrannus settings? Yes, please. Can you upload those to the HobbyKing website for us? And by the way, Stuart from HobbyKing is in the live chat. That's who I'm chatting to there. Wow, look at that, James. At 100 miles an hour, you'll travel at 1.66 miles a minute, or 448 feet per second in 1 second. Yes, crazy. Do you understand now why I've got this big grin on my face at the moment? Yeah, so it will be a FPV maiden. That's where I feel the most comfortable in the goggles, so that's what we will go with. And also, I've also learned from my experience as well, I will check from at least one, maybe wherever's up on the flight line, we will go over all the movements beforehand. I have no shame, same as you should do as well. If you've got a model like this, which is going to be doing 100 miles an hour, you need to put like the proudness to one side and stick on the humble hat, and just ask for someone else just to check over your movements. Literally give them the transmitter and say, are these right for you? And also to go through every single connection, whether that be electrical or mechanical fixings. Make sure those fixings are good, because this one, we want to make sure it stays in the sky, and we want to make sure that it is as beautiful as it is right now on my desk. And I'm a very, very happy man, and I can't wait to get this one out flying. So that's absolutely fine if it takes 24 hours or so. Like I said, I'm not going to be flying this one for a day or two at least. Absolutely crazy. Steve Tilkinson says, we'll be buying one on Friday. I might get the red one myself. Yes, as we know, red is the fastest colour, and if that doesn't sell it to you, it has 69 written on the tail, which keeps every 12 and 1/4-year-old, gives them a smile. On a serious point, I can't see anything bad about it. One of the two, the stickers have popped up a bit. That's no end of the world. I will be putting some sellotape on the leading edges of the wings, and also on the leading edge of the tail. So on the front, let me just show you up here on the camera. So I will put some sellotape along this leading edge, and the reason why I'll be doing that is because all the flying sites where I'll be taking this one, while the grass is mown mostly, well except for one of them, is that the last thing which I want is for dirt and mud and chunks of grass and rubbish to end up in the stickers, and me end up having to take them off. So I will put some tape along the leading edges, and also that will stiff them up from impacts. You would be surprisingly surprised, if that makes any sense at all, how much protection just normal sellotape gives to the leading edges on wings. I'm thinking of the Micro Sky Hunter, which I've got over there. I've put it into 2 trees where I've just caught like invisible branches, those ghost branches, which you just never see in the goggles, and I've hit true branches that way. And both times with that model specifically, sellotape along the leading edges, and it was thinner foam than this, even than the elevator fin on this one, and we just had 2 little mild dents in there. So sellotape, cheap, highly effective. And also don't forget the tape for the servo covers as well. Steve, yes, you are aged 12 and 1/4 as well. Yes, for it. So on BMX says 100 miles an hour is 36 seconds. A mile, yeah. Sorry, whatever you put down the calculations for, any model which is going over 100 miles an hour is absolutely bonkers. Not only if you're stood on the flight line with the transmitter, but if you've got the goggles on as well, you are the true pilot of the model. Your face, your eyes are on the front of the model, or in this case, just above the battery bay. If you've never tried FPV before, nip along to your local flying club wherever you are in the world. Go get onto YouTube and see what you can find out there. It's not hard, it's not complicated. All you need is 3 wires, black, red and yellow. Black and red you already know, which is positive and negative. And yellow is the video transmitter. All you need to do is take the yellow wire from your FPV camera and stick it to the yellow wire in your video transmitter. Really, really simple to do. And if that's too much of a challenge, then you can buy one of the all-in-one FPV cameras. One of my personal favorites is either the TX02 or the TX03. Just type in FPV TX02 or FPV TX03 into the Googler and you'll find them. They're both brilliant little all-in-one video cameras. Not suitable for a model like this, I will hasten to add. But if you want to chuck it on top of a Bonsai or a Texumo or any model, I've got Reactor over there or another Edge 540. Yeah, brilliant. Just start small. Start with a model which you don't care about, or start with a model which you know is super stable. Maybe like the AXN Cloud Surfer. FPV for me is just an unbelievable experience. So if you've never tried it, go out and try it. It is such a fantastic experience. And yeah, 3 months literally non-stop of FPV for me is now going to reach probably one of its pinnacle points with the EFXtra. I'm getting it right next to it. Is reaching one of its pinnacle points. I do have models here which are going to be faster. I think I've got the FG36 Racewing down there. That is going to be a 100 miles an hour plus model at least. Unfortunately, we don't have a radar gun to find out what our true speeds are. I may, just for poops and giggles, stick a vector on it and a GPS unit just to see if we can get a rough idea on speed on it. But hey ho. Right, oh yeah, live stream the EFXtra. BMW, I think I might end up doing that one. And by the way, those of you don't know what BMX is talking about there, is that I actually have a method here of live streaming FPV footage. We will be doing that at some point in the future. Really, really straightforward. Tom is on. Happy days. Now, I am going to go and wrap up now. Like I said, if you have any questions about any of the free models which have turned up here, please just ask. Like I said, I've bought all of these out of my money, and I will give you honest answers on them. just overwhelmed at the moment. Like I said, the 12 and 1/4 year old in me, as I can imagine, if you had one of these on your desk, would be going, "Whoa, let's get it together, let's go and fly it." But unfortunately, the adult in me says I need to go and do some work. So, and the weather is turning for the worst here in the United Kingdom at the moment. So, I will get her out as soon as I can. She will go out as a true FPV maiden, and it's going to be bat poop crazy. So, if you have been and joined in with the live chat, I've done my best on the live version. I have tried to do my best to keep an eye on the comments. One thing which I have learnt today, and I would like to say apologies for those of you which were on the live version and we had unfortunately had those 2 spammers on there. What I will do is upgrade a couple of you to be moderators on the YouTube channel, and thank you Kev for stepping in there and sorting those 2 people out. That's all I'm going to say. And it's time for me to go. I would like to say thank you for joining me for this live unboxing of not just 1 model, but 3 models here this morning in the United Kingdom. Don't forget, you can subscribe to this channel. There is a red button underneath this video. If you press the red button which says subscribe, you'll be I'll get this right, if you press the bell icon next to it, you'll get notified the second the next episode is being released. We do a live session every single morning here. It's called an RC coffee chat, and it's ad hoc as this. Also, if you do subscribe, you will end up getting notified the second this one gets out to be flown. The same for the F22 and also that nice, and I'm actually really impressed with that Edge 540 down there as well. So any comments, any suggestions, if you think you can make these live events better, I would humbly please ask for you to provide me some feedback, whether it's good, bad or ugly. You can do that in the comments section underneath this video. If you have enjoyed this live event, do me a favor and press the thumbs up button underneath this video, as it does help me and it helps others to find this episode. And on that note, it's time for me to go. And I'd like to, thank you to, I'm here looking at the iPad saying, Flying Amigo, call in sick. No, I am the boss, unfortunately. So I would be cheating myself. And Bleakis and Keith, thank you ever so much. And everybody whose name who I have not read out there, thank you ever so much for joining us. Stuart as well, I do appreciate you joining in as well. On that note, I really am going. Some of you need to go and sleep. I need to go and do some work. So for myself, Matt, cheerios!